Here we go. It's weather for Weather Geeks time. Hi, everyone. It is Thursday evening, and we've got a lot to talk about this evening. We've got a busy couple of days of weather coming up, some real interesting changes in the longer range, and a little bit of a review of what's happened over the last couple of days. And what happened today was, of course, it was the start of astronomical summer, the longest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere in terms of daylight. Of course, the day is still 24 hours, but when you hear longest day of the year, it's, of course, a reference to the amount of daylight. And here in Youngstown, we top out at 15 hours and 8 minutes worth of daylight here on the summer solstice. Now, tomorrow, we will have 3 seconds less daylight than today. And that process, of course, of losing daylight really accelerates as we go towards the end of summer and into meteorological fall. In fact, by late September, we end up losing about 2 minutes and 42 seconds of daylight per day. Our daylight decrease per day hits its peak right around late September, first week of October, 2 minutes and 42 seconds. So we've got a long way to go until then, and it was certainly a nice first day of the season today with lots of sunshine for this morning. Started to see some high clouds starting to filter in as we got into the afternoon today, and that cloud deck thickened and lowered as we got towards dinner time this evening. It's turned out to be kind of an overcast evening, but that being said, we are still dry. They were not dry last night in Pittsburgh. You may have seen some of the pictures and video coming out of Pittsburgh last evening. They had way too much rain in a short amount of time, especially from, say, downtown Pittsburgh on south and east. Some Doppler rainfall estimates here, and these are kind of in the ballpark of where some rain gauges ended up being as well, 2, 3, 4 inches worth of rain. But notice how sharp the cutoff was between all of that and areas north of Pittsburgh. Where the airport is, up near Moon Township, not much rain at all. So it was really quite a variance in the Pittsburgh area last night. Thankfully, they got a chance to dry out today, as did we. Kind of an unusual system for this time of the year spinning across the Midwest this evening. This stacked upper low, or stacked low pressure system, I should say, is something we see much more often in the cold weather season and in the transition seasons. Not really in the summer season, but nonetheless, this is a pretty impressive spin on the radar this evening out across parts of Missouri. Severe weather threat where a severe thunderstorm watch is out, parts of the Tennessee and Ohio valleys. And there's been a shield of rain on the east side of this all day today. It was not a good first day of summer today in Columbus and Dayton, Chillicothe, and up towards Lima. It's been raining most of the day down here. What a difference. Only, a couple hundred miles makes really as the crow flies. We went from a beautiful day to 135 miles to our south, it being just a clammy, rainy day. Now, it looks like this wall of rain is just going to come northward and it's just going to start pouring here at some point tonight. That's not really the case. We have some dry air in place, and as this rain starts slowly pushing north and east, it's going to get eaten some by this dry air. And so we are not expecting a wall of rain to occur here overnight, probably not much more than a couple of renegade showers overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. I don't think it's going to be much, but you might have to flip on the wipers a couple of times tomorrow morning. Really, the same forecast holds true for tomorrow afternoon. At times, it's gonna rain a little bit. I doubt it's anything all that heavy. I doubt we have much thunder and lightning, but occasionally it's gonna shower. It's gonna rain some. And as we go into the weekend, then, as this low pressure system slowly pushes east, we'll get into the warm sector on Saturday. Now, it's not going to be a real warm day, but it will be a more humid day, and the atmosphere will be a little more unstable on Saturday. Therefore, there could be more thunderstorm activity than we'll have tomorrow. But again, it's going to be splotchy and hit or miss, and I've gotten a lot of questions about the nature of this weekend's rain. And it's kind of a typical summertime situation where it's going to be hit or miss. We can't say it's going to rain in your backyard at 2:30 in the afternoon. We just don't know. It's really hard to pinpoint with much accuracy locations of rain a couple of days out in the summer season, and this will be a case where it's just hit or miss stuff tomorrow and into Saturday night, and even into Sunday as well. Even though our surface low, pushes east on Sunday, still our upper level low pressure system is going to linger back here across the Great Lakes on Sunday, and that will lead to the possibility of some spotty showers and thunderstorms. It's going to be another one of those days where someone's probably going to ask me on Twitter or Facebook, hey, is Sunday a washout? Hey, I've got this plan, is it going to rain at 3 in the afternoon? I kind of got to give you the shrug emoji, especially a day or so out, because there's just not much rhyme or reason to the location of the rain in this type of a situation. It's also hard to predict rainfall totals in the warm weather season where you have this hit or miss stuff because, as I just showed you in the Pittsburgh area last night, amounts can vary a lot. But as an average, between Friday and Saturday, an average rainfall total probably somewhere between a half an inch and an inch. There will be some exceptions, no doubt. Hour by hour rain chances. Here's what I have so far for the weekend. Again, each individual hour, the rain chances may not be that high, but it may try to rain at just about any point, both Saturday and Sunday. Right now, I have the highest odds overall for the whole weekend being Saturday afternoon, but this forecast will need some fine-tuning as we get a little bit closer, and some of our higher resolution models hopefully will be of some help to us. Temperature-wise this weekend, not a super hot weekend, certainly not as hot as last weekend. 75 Saturday, 77 on Sunday. I think the following weekend is likely to be much, much hotter. Let me show you why. I've been talking about this this week, that it's likely to, June is likely to end on a very toasty note. July starts on a very toasty note. The pattern as we go through time here will evolve into one in which a trough of low pressure will develop along the west coast. And let me back up. Here's next weekend. A trough of low pressure, not necessarily the west coast, but kind of the Intermountain West. A trough will develop out here, and upstream, a big ridge pops. That's that circular area right there. That's a heat dome. This is next weekend, 30th of June. And once this pattern establishes itself, it's likely to stick around for some time. And so a big sprawling heat dome here, right around the 4th of July, still shown on a lot of the modeling. So, the kind of heat we had last weekend and into Monday, I suspect some flavor of that is going to return in about 8 or 9 days and probably stick around for at least a week. So air conditioners are going to get busy once again at the end of June and start of July. So take advantage, if you can, of some of the cooler weather we have coming for the next several days. Unfortunately, it comes with some rain, but at least it won't be that hot. Our air conditioners will not be humming. Our electric bills will maybe not be as high due to the weather in the short term, but your July bill may not be much fun because of the weather at the end of June and start of July. Thanks for watching tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll do a Friday evening edition tomorrow evening on Facebook. Might do it live tomorrow evening, depending on what's going on the radar. Have a great Thursday night, everyone.